Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Library Lounge.
What's up, nerds?
So,
Oh, real quick, can I give a disclaimer?
oh yeah.
Okay, so just as a quick disclaimer, I have had to take a lot more medicine than I normally do. Um, and my chronic health issues are, for lack of better words, chronicling today. So if it sometimes takes me a little bit more to get certain words out, if there's more stuttering, more like speech issues, or like I forget words, that's why.
She's just lagging, that's all.
Yeah, I'm lagging and blue screening today, guys.
Yeah. Internet's not being too good on her head, so she's lagging.
No, yeah.
So, figured today we wanted to do a few random little topics, stuff that we enjoy talking about, and the zeitgeist of things that we enjoy and love.
That's a fucking word,
Yeah,
bro.
right. I love that word. I don't
That's
know
a
why,
word.
but I do love that word. This, we wanted to talk about video game hot takes, some anime hot takes, some remakes and remasters we've enjoyed throughout the years, and then remakes and remasters that we are looking forward to and or wishing that existed.
Yes.
Yeah, so those are things that we kind of wanted to talk about today. But besides that, sorry we missed last week again.
Life happens.
Life happens. I started a new schedule for work, so I'm kind of been getting used to that. Granted, love it because now I'm doing 10 hours and have 3 days off, so I have more time to do activities.
Which is based.
But yeah, no. But besides that, we've been good on our end. Just dealing with the punches that life gives you and taking it in stride. Fighting Mike Tyson is a tough battle.
Listen, when life gives you lemons, you can make lemonade. Or you can just freeze those lemons, put them in a pillowcase, and then beat the problem with the lemons. And then make some lemonade.
I honestly thought that you were gonna go with the whole aspect of oh no, fuck lemonade, we can make lemon meringue pie. But sure, that works too.
Listen, when life throws you punches, you just gotta be creatively more punchy.
I guess how it went. So yeah, so figure we can talk about those kind of things and everything. So again, as we go through the subjects and everything, follow along, take notes. Let us know also as well.
What are your tops for these topics? What are your tops for these topics?
We're grown-ups.
We're adults who promise.
Yeah, so I guess I'll go first. So some of my things, we're gonna start with video game hot take. So figure one that's always been on my head a lot, and I hate the discourse around it. But yeah, it's one of those things I'm like, hey, to each their own. You like what you like. I'm not here to yuck your yum type.
Yeah,
of
just these are our opinions, and I want to
these
stress that.
These are our opinions. You are allowed to think whatever you want. That is your opinion. You're right as a human or entity, space monster,
whatever you
are.
identify as. Yeah. Okay, and I want to stress, we're not here to yuck anyone's yum.
Yeah,
if something generally gives you joy and happiness,
by all means
keep doing the thing, especially if it doesn't hurt you or anybody else.
You can to build model houses out of Q-tips for all I care, and I think that would be fucking awesome.
That would be awesome, actually.
Yeah.
I would love to see the details that goes
into
into that, right?
Yeah. So my first hot take is, which I honestly don't think it's a lot of hot takes. Probably here in the States, it is a hot take. So for me, I grew up outside of the States. My first 11 years of life was outside of the U.S. It wasn't until my teenage formative years was here in the States. But before that, it was outside of the U.S. So for me, it was interesting. Very side tangent, by the way. For me, it was interesting because to give an example of where I sat in when it comes to nerdy culture, I guess you can say. In South America, for those that know, how big Dragon Ball was down there. How big Saint Seiya, or those in the know, Los Caballeros del Zodiaco, or Knights of the Zodiac, how would be translated here in English, how massive those shows were down there.
Yeah.
Same with Sailor Moon and everything. It was huge. By the time that I came here to the States, Dragon Ball just has started. So to me, everybody was behind. I felt like such a little hipster back then because
I already know what happens.
I already know all this. To us in the islands, and in South America,
you could have made a killing as a child.
My God.
You could have been like, hey,
God.
I'm gonna predict what happens in the next episode.
I know,
all right?
Right?
Put
for
$20 down. You would have been rich as hell.
Yeah, for real. For example, where I grew up, we had we were at the end. We finished the Cell games, and we're starting the Majin Buu saga. So when I came back here, when I came over here, Dragon Ball literally just started. Mind you, I watched all of Dragon Ball and then Z. So we got to experience Goku's journey as a child, then Z, and everything like that. Here it was just starts at Z and then goes. Like,
Yep.
and then unfortunately here, due to like I guess networks and stuff like that and how anime started here, it was really scarce to find anything. It was very much like excuse me, it was pretty much like Z started and then got to like end of Raditz and then started over. And then started again and then got to the end of Raditz and then started over. And it wasn't for like it was for a full year that it did that. And then it wasn't until the following year that they were like, all right, here's the Vegeta, here's the Saiyan saga. So here's Vegeta and Nappa and everything. It gets to the point when Goku returns and then it starts over and then it goes towards like the end and then it starts over. And I remember,
What?
yeah, it was so weird. It was so weird.
That is wild.
And then it gets to like the Frieza saga stuff. And then that was the longest time. That's around the time where the meme started for like, oh, it takes 5 episodes for Goku
Yeah,
to charge
yep.
a Spirit Bomb type deal. It wasn't just because like the episodes were dragged, but it was because we were watching the same beginning half of the arc like so many times.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
many times. But yeah, my experience with video games, because of coming from where I'm from, was a lot of fighting games, a lot of like,
Street
whatever.
Fighter's big down in your neck of the woods, right?
King of Fighters.
King of
King of
Fighters,
Fighters
okay.
was huge down there. So to me, my first experience with fighting games was King of Fighters. So like King of Fighters, Mark of the Wolf and stuff like that. Those games were like the first ones that I didn't experience Street Fighter till I came here. I
Got it.
knew of Street Fighter, but I didn't play Street Fighter till I got here to the States. But it was primarily mostly King of Fighters and stuff like that and everything. Along with that, I pretty much just got my hands on. I generally played whatever I could get my hands on.
The
My-
kid struggle.
Yeah. It's pretty much like, and not just that, but like stuff since back then, translation wasn't as big of a thing yet. It's pretty much, there wasn't really a Spanish like translation to
Right.
any of these video games to Mario. You just had to play it in English. So so you think about like, it would be like, oh, the process of elimination, I guess you could say. If you were into these things and you lived in like South America or Central America or the Caribbean, your choices were to either get them from like either Mexico or go to like bigger populated places in South America,
I
or
believe it.
have parents that travel to the States. Which luckily for me, my dad traveled to the States for work.
Mhm.
So when he came home, he would come home with like, I remember the Christmas he came home with like Super Nintendo. That was like the bundle with the gun. It brought Mario and Duck Hunt
Y'all
and
were
everything.
probably excited as hell for that.
Yeah, and then like 2 years later, since by that time the Nintendo was out a few years already, and then so I remember just having the Nintendo for like about a year before my dad did his trip again and came back after that during that Christmas. Came back with an SNES, Super Mario 3D, Metroid, and Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
Damn,
which
your
was-
shit was stacked.
yeah, I was the first kid in my neighborhood to have an SNES. So I used to have a lot of the kids or friends that would come over. We would play and everything. And that's how I fell in love with Zelda. Because man, that game was so fucking good. Then I moved here to the States. The first thing getting here in the States was I got a bunch of hand-me-downs. That's how I got my Saturn. 'Cause
Got
my
it.
cousins had a Saturn. And he just got a Nintendo 64. And I got the Saturn, and this is like how I fell in love with Sonic. I got Sonic, a bunch of other games with it, but primarily it was just Sonic that I was just playing on that thing.
Was that your rich cousin that you tell me all the stories about?
No.
Okay.
This was my cousin from Michigan. My rich cousin was in Dominican Republic at the time. But I got his Saturn and everything. And I remember that year, I got a PlayStation, the PS1 I got. And that summer, when I tell you, I did not leave my house. Because like those 3 games that I got were Final Fantasy 7,
Oh, that
Chrono-
one right there.
Chrono Cross, and Xenogears.
Those
those-
are all 3
yeah.
stacked RPGs.
So those 3 games are like the sole reason why I fell in love with RPG. I was like, oh, this is crazy.
Great
So,
stories too.
on top of that, I had to go on that tangent because to the point that I'm trying to get.
No, you're fine.
After 7, back then, especially here, like you really didn't like a lot of kids that I knew always thought that it was just like you would think like sequels, Matrix 1,
Yeah.
Matrix 2, stuff like that. So to me, I was like, oh man, there were 7 other Final Fantasies, but I never knew that they existed. I never played them or anything. It wasn't until I got an adult that I played 6 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and everything like that. But after 7, I vividly remember going with my mom to EB Games, and about throwback.
That's a fucking throwback.
Remember?
It's funny though because EB Games is mainly what it's called in Canada. So
Yeah,
GameStop.
it's still called EB Games and not GameStop ever since they all did remember. But I went to EB Games and it was the EB Games downstairs in the mall before it became GameStop.
Got it.
Where you ended up working.
Well, in other words, where were you met?
Yeah. So I went to EB Games and I remember my mom's like typical mom thing. Hey, just chill here for a bit. I'm gonna go to the store across the street, across the on the other side. That is a clothing store. So I was like, cool. So I'm looking around the games and I see Final Fantasy VIII. And I was like,
Ah.
oh, this is cool. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh man, I wonder how many years after. Because by that time, you know,
thought it was all the
a
same
story. I
Got
thought
it.
at the time I thought that 8 was a
Can
sequel
I
to
pause you
7.
for a
Yeah.
second, just for a thought? Could you imagine if there was an RPG that literally went on every year, like episodic, and it
Oh my god.
continued?
Honestly,
That'd be so fucking cool.
the only one that does that currently correct
Mass
me if
Effect,
I'm
right?
one. The only
Dragon Age?
the only JRPG that does this
Oh, JRPG. My
that
bad.
does this is the Legend of Hero series.
You're right. You're very right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, but 7, I remember seeing 8 and I was like, oh man, this was cool. I thought that Squall was like a descendant of Tifa and Cloud's was like Tifa and Cloud's like child.
I could see the resemblance for that.
That's literally
Yeah.
that's literally what I thought the whole time. I thought like Renoa was like a Cetra ancient that like
Yeah.
survived after everything that happened. I thought all these characters were just like descendants of people of 7 because in my mind I first thought I was like, oh maybe just they're like their kids or something,
Right.
and everything. Because the way that 7 ends, it's 800 years later, and you see Nanaki
Yeah.
with its children going on the mountain. Spoiler for 7, by the way, for anybody that hasn't played a 30-40 year long old game. Nanaki's on the mountain and looks down, and Midgar's like, overtaken by nature and everything.
Yeah.
So like, my 11-year-old mind's like, oh man, cool, this is what this is, blah blah blah. And then I played it and I was like, oh, so wrong. I load up the game and I'm like,
8
bruh,
is great, by the way.
listening to Via Fatalis for the first time.
Oh my
I was
god,
like,
so good.
so good.
So fucking good.
So, in regards to all this, my reason for my hot take is that I believe my hot take is that Final Fantasy VIII is overly hated, and it's better than most people give it time to. I think that the hate for FF8 is mostly because of meme culture. And
Yeah.
It's become such a thing, or people on the internet say it, because I've noticed so many people that play it now, and they're like,
And they're like, oh, this
wow,
is really
this
good.
game is really good. 8 is so loved outside of the US.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. And I'm not gonna hear stand on a pedestal and say that their 8 is a perfect game and there's
No, that's
nothing
not. Let's
and
be
there's
real.
nothing wrong with it. There is 100% a lot of things wrong with it. A lot of things. And a lot of things that is not our fault. That it's not even
It
the
was
game's
mostly
fault.
translation issues, right?
Because again, this is the era where this is starting to be it's the cause that and Xenogears were like the cause for people, especially on the Square Enix end. It's like, yo, we need to put time in this because these games
Yeah.
are selling. So we need to actually create localization teams and stuff like that and
Mhm.
actually get proper translations and everything. This is the reason why. This is another reason why, like around this time too, it's translation issues during the PS2 and PS1 era. It's the main reason why Titus is called Titus
Yep.
because it was said Titus one time over a mistranslation,
yep.
but it's Titus, like Teetus. That's how you would say it.
Also, sidebar, because if not, I'm gonna forget it. So I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're fine.
But I'll never understand the concept of people saying I dislike or don't like something just because somebody else said it's bad,
Hive mind thinking.
when you could just experience it for yourself and form your own opinion.
Exactly. Like I love everything about it. I love the story. I love the cast. When you really sit there, the game really sinks into the second time you play it after understanding everything that happens in the
Mhm.
game. The time situation, the whole if you sit there and go through the world and understand like the side stories and stuff that are going on, it makes sense that second time and it makes you really go, oh, understanding the whole lunatic Pandora stuff,
Mhm.
the whole thing with the witches, the stuff with like the ancient history that you get through like texts and stuff like that. Those kind of things I love, but I also wish that they would have put it more in the game.
Yeah.
The game gave us triple triad, and I will
Love triple
forever
triad.
be grateful for that. Where the thing lie is, which because I've noticed that a lot of people that play 8 when they're younger compared to when they play 8 now, is the fact that they never could understand the junction system, and that was
Yep.
the major thing, and I totally understand that. But when you play it again and you understand it, and you understand that the junction system is very much like oh, the more I use this is how I power up. You can literally have your characters so overpowered,
Just from
even
Triple Triad, if
not
I'm
yeah,
remembering correctly,
even
right?
after you leave Balam Garden and you really just grind things out, you can get at least Squall's ultimate weapon before the end of this one.
I believe it.
It's triple triad, and then the whole junction system is so broken. And I will get into this topic later of stuff remakes that if you kind of tell this is gonna be remakes that I would love to see is gonna be this, but I will go more into detail when we get into
Yeah.
that topic. But one thing that I will get into this whole last thing before we move on is that the one thing about 8 that I loved is the story. And the one part that I love the most it took me till I was an adult to fully that made me go, wow, I love this game. And I love the story and this cast of characters. The one misconception is that people hate the fact that Irvine pussied out when trying to kill a day. Again,
Got it.
another spoiler, 20-year-old
Yeah.
game. In the game, you find out later on that all the characters are all part of the same orphanage.
Mhm.
The sorceress Adea was their matron, was their mother,
Mother,
pretty
basically.
much, as raised them. In the world of FF8, the schools they train children to become like these seeds, which are soldiers to fight the sorceresses if a sorceress comes up. There are multiple schools. The garden where Irvine comes from has one thing different that the garden where the rest of the cast come from. Balam Garden was the only garden that was allowed to use guardian forces, or summons. Thing is though the summons had a side effect that the more you use them, apparently humanity found a way to have it where you can use magic, but there's a part of your brain that allows you to do that, and humans can't possibly do it as much because of it. But the summons inherently take space in that part, and you're able to use your magic and use your things and summon them. The problem is that where that's located and everything, you lose your memory. So these people
Oh.
have used it so much that their memories from the past and stuff are just foggy, and they just don't remember things and everything like that. Irvine comes from a school where they don't use guardian.
Got it.
The game, due to translations and stuff like that, doesn't do a good job at explaining that Irvine knows them all, but you kind of understand that Irvine's keeping it a secret. Irvine goes to go kill her, and he can't do it because he's just like, I can't. That's like my mother.
Yeah.
I can't pull the trigger. And because of that sequence, and people not understanding that part very well, that mistranslation, it loses the aspect because Irvine, all he does is just I can, and then just sits down and does nothing. And then
Yeah.
the Squall's like, oh, blah blah blah, and then that's why we get into the whole Squall's death theory because when he gets impaled into something. But that game is so special. Definitely has a lot of faults. I will never deny that. But I think the good outshine.
Agreed. 100.
So then, what is your first hot take?
Okay. So it's a Final Fantasy hot take. Final Fantasy X-2 is not a bad game.
What can I do for you?
Funny because like a lot of people like just saw What Can I Do For You and was like, yeah, no, this game isn't for me. Bye. Click.
Women.
And I'm like, bro, is the only thing you saw about this game was Yuna living her best life going, what can I do for you? You know, with like Pain and Riku jamming being the best friends ever.
Yeah.
You know, like, give it a chance. Like, I understand if it's not your type of game, like, you know.
Come on, let's be honest for real. A lot of the reason why people didn't play that game is because they saw 3 powerful women in the front thing, and they're like, "This is not my Final Fantasy."
That's pretty much what it was, and it breaks my heart a little bit.
Yeah, and it gave us like some of like the best like ATB like system fighting. It was
Yes.
so good, and then like it gave us a great with the dress spheres.
I
That-
loved the Dress Sphere
It was like a
system.
modern,
It was so fucking
modern way of them doing the job system.
Yeah, for Final
It's
Fantasy
so
14.
good. It's so good. Getting into the topic of that I forgot to mention about 8, and since you were saying 10 too, one thing that I believe that was a detriment to these games is the fact that the Japanese versions and the PAL versions, which are the European versions, had content that were taken out in the American version, which now we get to see it with except for the 8 one. 8 truly needs to get a full remake, and again I'll talk about that later, for we to get the full experience. But 10 2, we got it.
Yeah, we
with
got an
10 and
international mission.
yeah, they used to call it like that because Kingdom Hearts had one,
Yeah.
10 had one. A lot of the Final Fantasies, you always find out that there's these like international missions that had more
Yeah.
content. For the 10-2 one, it had
Mascot dress
yeah,
sphere was
it had
fucking huge.
five or six extra dress spheres.
Gambler,
Mascot,
mascot, and there were
the
3 others.
psyop, the psychic
Yeah.
one. It had the casino one, and it had something else, but it had such crazy powerful mascot. It had like content that was taken out.
I loved all the designs
Same
for
thing
that
with
too.
10. 10 had things that were taken out, which are now in the remake, like the Dark Aeons.
Yeah.
It had a little extra story stuff. It had just things that made the game more complete. In 8 was the one that confused me the most. Because honestly, too, this is what started a lot of the rumors because you would hear, like, for example, for 7, you would hear that there's like, oh, there's a Japanese version with a little extra content or stuff like that, stuff that is taken out. And then that's where the rumors started around, like in playgrounds going like, oh, hey, did you know in the day, if you pick Tifa and were nice to Tifa the whole time and they didn't talk to Aerith or anything, when Aerith goes to die, Tifa jumps in the way of the sword and like gets
Did
stabbed
people
instead of
really
yeah, people
meme people
ran
with that? Because
people
that's kind of
ran.
funny.
It was literally the
It's fucking funny at the same
it was
time.
literally the game of telephone because it would start with one thing and then like through you would hear it everywhere. You would go to like a GameStops or like arcades and people would talk about video games. Like to me, my thing was like people there was always used to be a guy that would show up with a notebook with like the cheat codes for Mortal Kombat and everything
Yeah.
on there. But there were people that were like, oh, if you do this in 7, you can get Aerith to survive and live and everything. And there in 8, there was this so in 8 there was this whole thing of where you go to these patches of forest and there were chocobo gardens specifically for the chocobos, but nothing could happen with them. Like there was a whole quest where it was just like bring all the chocobos
Didn't they do chocobo wrestling? Not wrestling, racing in the
in 8.
international in 8?
No, the thing was it was a whole quest for chocobos where you have to go to all the patches that were like these chocobo forests and bring them back to the main one, to the fat chocobo that was the main one. Fortunately, those were not in the game because in 8 there was a special memory card, kind of like the VMUs from the Dreamcast that you could play, that had a chocobo mini game, and that's how you got the chocobos.
That's so cool.
And then you plug it into your thing, you visit the thing, and it upload it, and then that's how you got an extra summon through that. You got 2 extra summons through that, and there was something else in the 8 international mission that had to. But yeah, 10-2 had international mission. Literally had a bunch of content
So
that was
good.
taken out.
So fucking good. I get it's not everyone's game. Like, I understand that. But all I'm saying is, just give it a chance, you know? If you don't like it and it's not for you, that's not for
The
you.
one topic that, and I know that the one thing that people don't like about 10-2, which like again, I get it, is the fact that like Yuna goes from like priestess to just like, all right,
Gonna.
I'm done with the church. Time to be, pew 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 everything. But no, I like the aspect, especially as somebody that's dealt with like a lot of like religious manipulation and shit like that. Is the aspect that like seeing a world that was so bent and so
Yeah.
like by the chains and shackles of like their main religion belief and everything, and then this whole thing that they had to abide by the whole cycle of sin and do everything like that, for them to live now in a world past that. Because it makes you think. It's just like, what would be in our world? What would happen if all religion just happened?
Yeah.
If a situation that was just like, this is all a lie, this is nothing is real, blah blah blah, and here's proof and yada yada, and like Roma, everything just happened. What's the world after that? It's not gonna be sunshine and rainbows.
No.
That first couple generations are gonna be like, what?
Yeah.
Of course, there's gonna be turmoil. There's gonna be confusion and change in all sorts of aspects. The church didn't let go of power, and we saw that when
Was
the
it
aspect
like a 5 to
into-
10 year time skip for 10 to 10 2? I don't remember the exact
it was
number.
like it was like 3 years.
3 years?
Like
Okay.
2-3 years or so. But yeah, no, there was just still the Church of Yevon didn't let go. They were still like kind of like find a way to like be like, oh, rather, because at the end of the day too, a lot of these people so believed in it so much that it was just like, I don't know what my identity is or what
Yeah.
to do, and then people miss the whole concept of the far planes, what it truly meant, and yada yada. But yeah, no, it's a good concept to have behind that. I like that game touched upon what happens after the world is, and I'm using air quotes here, safe.
Yeah.
Is everything truly peace, or what's the rebuilding aspect of it? It's not. It won't.
Because
Those first.
Hero was big on religion.
Yeah.
And sin.
Yeah, and it's like that rebuild will not be sunshine and rainbows.
Mm-mm.
Those first couple years
Not at all.
will be a struggle because yeah.
Okay, so my second video game hot take, and if you like this character, again, strongly saying I'm not here to yuck your yum, just my opinion. Nier and the Drakengard franchise togetherness is probably one of my favorite game series. I have a lot of favorite game series but Nier Automata is definitely up there. So, not particularly a big fan of 9S. So, if you do love him, then I love that for you. Again, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum, but this is low key spoiler slash very heavily paraphrased lore. So,
Yeah, to give more intake to that, this is not a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about when it comes to this
isn't it Automata
isn't not in the
or
games. It's hinted at in the games, but near outside of like Automata and near Gestalt and Near Incarnation
Replicant
and Replicant, there's a massive lore, like huge
in
lore
books and
in
the stage
books in
plays
the stage.
and
It's
short stories?
specifically in the stage plays.
Oh, the stage plays have
There's
fuck ton.
massive lore in the stage plays, the books, even in the mobile game, the whole birdcage incident, everything.
Yep.
There's a lot, and you get to find out a lot. Just not about near, but also like the Drakengard world and everything like
Like,
that. Through there.
sidebar, if you are a fan of Nier, like the whole Nierverse, and you don't want to get into a gacha game, just watch somebody play through the Nier mobile game because it's already done.
That, or just give it about a year or so, because the rumor is after this new one, Final Fantasy, this new Final Fantasy game, the HD 2D one, which is based on the mobile game.
Mhm.
After this one, apparently there's talks that they want to do that to the Nier, um, uh, the mobile game one.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, and they want to do apparently the same thing with Sino Alice as well.
I would love that. Sino Alice, also great little guy. There's also a little bit of lore for the Nier Drakengardverse in there too.
Yeah, the library stuff.
Yeah. So basically, TLDR, before Yorha was at the way it was right now, where the men were scanners and the combatants were mainly women, they tried them with all males, but they were way too aggressive. So then they decided on, when I say they, I mean the androids that created the Yorha unit. So,
One thing to put into that, it wasn't that just they were aggressive. This would explain a lot also about 9S's character when you see him go through certain moments in the game. The aggressiveness made them go into a berserk state.
yes. And no matter what short story, no matter what form of lore, 9 and 2 have always been together or close.
The main reason, again, heavy spoilers. You guys want to skip this part of Nier? By all means, we get it. But like this, we have to talk about this so you can understand why. It's not just her that doesn't like 9S. I don't like 9S either. The whole thing with it, it's not just they were all together. They were the original Yorha units. Were them? They were the prototype.
They were prototypes because
prototypes.
before they were just 9 and 2. And again, heavily paraphrased. Heavily paraphrased. One of the androids that were working on 9 and 2, I think it was 9 that asked, why don't we have names like you do? Why do we have numbers? And I forget the response that was said, but 9 didn't really like that response. And then, after the android left the room, TLDR, he saw a bunch of documents and information he wasn't supposed to, and caused a huge workplace accident of exploding the entire spaceship situation.
Every time I think of that version of 9S, it reminds me of what's his face from FF14. Fuck you.
Yeah. Just please, if you are into Nier lore, like, I haven't researched this or touched up on this in years, so it's heavily paraphrased, and definitely double check my information. But yes, that is one of the reasons.
A lot of the faults that happen in the game, it's literally because of 9S.
Mm-hmm.
Completely leaving the back door open. Everything that he did was on purpose because, and quote, he is in love with 2B. It's more of like he has this obsession that he's had since their like origin state.
Yeah, like
of it.
The programming for 9 and 2, they always
are very weird, are very interesting. They're always put together, and you kind of like get to understand why, because 9S just goes insane.
Also, highly recommend watching the anime.
Yeah,
because there are different
some tidbits
that are different, and they go over almost like a different timeline scenario.
It explains why Adam is very like has the conversations that he has with 9S.
Mm-hmm.
So my second hot take is,
this This is video game hot take?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. My second hot take is that Assassin's Creed is a great series and people hate it for the memes. It just sucks that the game is stuck to a company that has made some very shitty choices in the past. So the game gets hate not for the aspect of the game, but for the company that is attached to.
Now, can I pause you for a second? Because now I'm assuming it's all under Ubisoft. But
Yep.
kind of like Square Enix, they have different teams that work on different
Yep.
things within Ubisoft.
Yep. Correct.
So that's like me going, I'm not going to play Final Fantasy 14 anymore because one of the strategic business departments within Square Enix did something weird.
Pretty much. The Assassin's Creed to me is like that is my Call of Duty. Every time
Mhm.
it comes out, I get it and I play it. Again, am I saying that those games are perfect? No. A lot of those games have flaws. Even my favorite ones out of the series, which is Odyssey, and Black Flag, they've had their faults. I love that they remade Black Flag, but man, there's something special about Black Flag and then specifically Odyssey that I was just head over heels with those games. I'm a huge history nerd and everything, and I love the history behind all of the games. I know that it's none of it is historical. There's no historical accuracy with some of the benefits. I love also the fact that in Odyssey they made actual historical moments. Like there are these purple quests that you would go to, and when you go to do them, you get like an IRL person that they use the animus type deal thing, but it's an IRL person giving you the actual historical aspect of like the Parthenon type deal thing, or like the statue of Zeus and like
That's pretty cool.
and everything, and it was so cool. I love the history. I love the story for it. People say like, oh well, this game was never like this. House with the whole every time the more they started leaning more into the ancient race and everything like that, and it just mind boggles me because I've 100% of all these games, and
Yeah.
it mind boggles me that people think that the story of the first original with Altair was just grounded in everything. And I'm like, did you miss the whole aspect that you collect the memories and get to see Adam and Eve at the end and pick up the first piece of Eden? And then in 2, which is everybody's favorite, I love 2, I love the story of Ezio, literally is you gaining a piece of Eden to understand these things and learn and and Ezio gets the visions of the precursors and shit like that
Yeah.
and everything that happens. One thing I hate that the series did is move away from Desmond, because that story could have been so much better. But I love the series. I know that there's flaws in it, but I don't think it deserves the amount of hate that the series get. I know a lot of the hate started during the whole Assassin's Creed Unity time, because that game did not launch well at all. It was so bad. It was so bad. But now the version that's out now is like so much better. It took too long to get to that point, but it's really good now.
Black Flag looks stunning,
Yeah.
by the way. They did a really good job.
One
with
thing
that
also
remake.
I will agree with a lot of people is I hate that they took the multiplayer out. Assassin's Creed had such a fun multiplayer to it.
Did it
Where-
really?
Yeah, you're just a bunch of you can either be assassins or Templars, and you have to like either hunt the assassins or you just
That actually sounds
going
really
up
fun. I
against,
didn't
like,
even
other
know
players.
that there was a
Yeah,
multiplayer
it was
mode in
huge.
Assassin's
It was
Creed.
like it was so good, and it made me wonder, man. I would have loved to see this multiplayer in Black Flag, and it's just you, other pirates and stuff like that, fighting each other, assassins and stuff like that. It would have been so cool. But yeah, that's one thing I wish they would bring back with Assassin's Creed. It's this multiplayer. It was so good. On to my last hot take, and this is one that I will stand 10 toes down on, no matter
20
what.
toes down.
I will stand 10 toes down because this one mind boggles me. Like I kind of get it, but at the same time, it's just like it's been told to us. I wish that it was been more told into the main games instead of the side games. But I get that the side games were needed because you couldn't fit all this in one game at all. This game would have been 180 hours or something if that was the case. My hot take is that the Kingdom Hearts story is not as complicated as people make it out to be. This, again, to use this phrasing again, people just hate it for the memes.
Why though? I don't get it.
So the main concept of Kingdom Hearts that people say that it's too convoluted is because the whole Xehanort and Organization 13 thing. Because
I don't
Xehanort exists.
Kind of confusing.
Because people think that the whole aspect of Xehanort existing in multiple times in multiple places is too confusing and that they don't explain enough. And it's just like, no, it is explained.
Yeah.
Granted, unfortunately, you have in order for you to you will never understand that just by playing Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
You
need
have
the
to
in-between.
play. You have to play Birth by Sleep. That's why I love that this collection is out now.
Yeah.
To understand all that. and it's just like the for you to get the main layer of the story is play those games. I know people don't want to dedicate time to it, don't want to do it, and blah blah
I mean,
blah.
even so, we live in
Because
a
it's like,
world where
because
YouTube
yeah,
exists.
it's the
You
same
know?
excuse that people put for One Piece that it's too long. I get it. Okay, read the manga. If you don't want to, just say that you don't want to.
Mhm.
Don't come up with excuses and stuff like that. Just say that you don't want to. It's not your cup of tea. Yada yada.
I just wish more people were honest. Just say,
Yeah,
I don't want to dedicate X amount of hours
exactly.
and waste my time.
I would much rather do it with smaller projects and smaller
Yeah,
things. And
or just watch like a
yeah,
content creator explain it.
right. Yeah. The main concept that people don't get is the whole Nording, which is like the whole Zehun
Yeah.
being a thing. You find out that later on, everybody in Organization 13 was set up to be a body for Zehun. And everybody, and not just that, but they were not even the main plot point of that whole project. There was a shadow organization behind the Organization 13 that was actually where they were testing things out. And people don't understand how is it that Zehun existed through all this and make all this happen. Like, well, time is a thing. The only reason why Zehun is able to be in all these times is because he has left anchor points throughout all these times.
Yeah.
There's also a digital world that exists right next to it that things have been happening into. This man has left anchor points that he can just go back to. That's why
Digimon, a
yeah,
ending story.
he's been existing throughout everything because he pretty much has pieces of himself throughout all these
I'm
bodies.
sorry to cut you off again, but it'd be really cool. There was a Digimon Kingdom Hearts event
Oh my
crossover.
god, that'd be so cool.
That'd be really cool.
But I think the story is really cool. I think that it's not given as much prop as it should be. And I will agree that a lot of the meat and potatoes, especially of the story itself, the past and how things built up, was on the mobile game, and not a lot of people know.
Got you.
So that's where I will lean more towards like, yeah, I get it. Like that. I know a lot of the hate too is that a lot of the people play these games because it's just like it was this wonderful crossover between
Yeah.
Square Enix and Disney. But as like the games progress, like Square Enix kind of like took more of a backseat and
Yeah.
backseat. Like 3, it was just a Disney game.
Yeah.
That's literally
much.
all it was.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that in 4 we go back to that, like having more of the Square Enix characters
I
in there
agree.
and everything, because that's literally a lot of the reason why a lot of people play the game. Because
Yeah.
like that big crossover between the two.
Okay, so I have my last hot take and then an additional one that's kind of like a sidebar hot take. So in Hungry Star Rail, there's 3 like endgame modes. Okay, they're called Pure Fiction, Apocalyptic Shadow, and Memory of Chaos. So again, if this makes you happy, do what makes you happy. I am not here to say don't do the thing or yuck your yum or anything of that nature. If it makes you happy and gives you serotonin, do the damn thing. I'm just some schmuck on the internet at the end of the day. A lot of people zero cycle, which is basically a saying of I did this before like the turn order was complete. Like it didn't take an additional turn order. Like in HSR on the left how it has like, the battle thing, like say like your first character goes first and enemies and other
Yeah.
one of your people. Well, a lot of people within the community want to zero cycle so that they can say that they zero cycle. There's from my knowledge at least, there's no award for zero cycling. You get the same amount of rewards that you would if you didn't zero cycle.
By zero cycle, you mean like battle starts and you finish it in just that first cycle?
So let me pull up some footage here and I'll show you.
Because I had no idea that zero cycling was a thing, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
to be honest. For the listeners, she's showing me a battle that does like this whole zero cycling. What's the Pink Hair Squad?
So you see how everyone's here?
Yeah.
And like how there'll be like a number somewhere there? Like on this side?
Yeah, they'll show you like the turn order. Who
Yeah.
it is.
So basically when it says zero cycling, they want to complete the battle before that number is gone and goes into the next turn, basically.
Yeah, so pretty much enter battle and then finish it before the next.
The game says
next
like
turn.
this is the next turn. Yeah.
Got it.
That's pretty much zero cycling.
Okay.
But you don't get like any extra rewards for doing it. And again, I apologize if I worded it weird. That's the best way I could explain it. I'm sure there's people on the internet that could explain it much more than my smooth brain could. But yeah, like if it makes you happy, then do it up. If it
Yeah. It's
like
a cool challenge.
it is a cool challenge
because
for
that
yourself.
goes to show you like how optimizes your team.
But, like, there are also people on the shitty end of that spectrum where like, "Oh, well, you didn't zero cycle, so your team is trash." And I'm like,
Again,
"Where does that
that's
mentality come from,
it's
bro?"
it's the it's the oh bro, you use summons and magic in Elden Ring, you really didn't play the game.
Yeah, I don't get that
Yeah,
either.
no, same.
So, this is my hot take sidebar, okay? Again, it's Hoyoverse related. So, maybe I see life through a different colored lens, but I don't understand how people don't like Remiel from ZZZ, and I don't understand how people don't like Lingsha from Honkai Star Rail. From my understanding from ZZZ, they don't like how she looks, like, physically, for Remiel, and then they don't like her kit, allegedly, and I'm like, are we looking at the same picture? But then again, like, I also love playing anomaly-based teams, and I think she's fucking gorgeous.
And from the things that I've seen, she is like people are using Remio
Farm
to
materials,
farm
right?
materials, and she's like the best at it.
I love playing anomaly teams, so maybe maybe I have a biased opinion, but like, I don't understand how you look at her and be like, oh, that she's not pretty. And I'm like, what? Like, I know beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Like, same for Lingsha. Like, a lot of people don't think Lingsha looks good, or the other argument is like, oh, she looks like Sparkle. And I'm like, how do you see Sparkle here?
Yeah.
And I just get really confused. So those are my hot takes for games.
Our next topic is going to be anime hot takes. So I'm sure you go if you've been on TikTok or social media, everybody has had an opinion. It's just like every opinion, everybody has one, just like an asshole type deal. So this is just ours again, just like a video game ones. These are just our opinions and our opinions alone. You guys,
We're not here to yuck anybody's gum.
You don't have to agree with our opinions. You can have your own, and that is awesome. But my first one is that there is more anime than just shonen.
Yes, preach it from the sky.
There is way more anime than just shonen itself. Even because I've noticed that and granted, shonen is the most popular because it resonates the most with a lot of people. But you talk to a lot of people, and they're like, "Oh, I've seen so many anime."
But it's just shonen.
And it's literally you just count it with your fingers that it's just shonen. If that's your ick, if
that's your ish, then
great,
watch
by
it,
all means.
do it up.
Because I can't complain because a majority of a lot of the animes that I enjoy
right?
are shonen.
Yeah.
Are in the shonen genre. Again, but this is due to the fact that like the era that we grew up.
Yeah.
There's so many other great animes out there that are outside of that genre that are amazing.
Yeah.
That still deal with the same topics that you sit here and you like and love about these shonen.
Yeah.
But they're just a different thing.
Yep.
Completely. A lot of people, and I'm not trying to be an anime gatekeeper and tell you what to watch and what to read and what to do. No, you watch whatever you want.
What makes you happy? Because at the end of the day, it's your time.
I just hope, my wish with the community is that I wish people were broaden their horizon, and I'm starting to see that a lot, which makes me happy. Because,
like, don't be afraid to try something new.
Exactly. Just because you see a girl in an anime doesn't mean that it's gonna be a shitty anime.
Right.
If that was the case, then so many people miss out on watching Nana.
Like, oh my god, hold that thought, and I agree. We literally have a friend who will not watch anime with any female mainly. And I wish I was making this up. You're literally, like, slashing a bunch of amazing shows.
Huge. And he's heavy into, like, shonen and, like,
yeah.
He loves action anime. And we try to tell him, like, bro, watch it. He loved Berserk and loves like Attack on Titan and stuff like that. And I told him like, yo, watch Claymore.
He would have loved Claymore.
You would love Claymore. It's literally up your alley. And he looked it up and he's like, no, because it has women in it. I was like, damn, bro. Like, because I guess like he's been part of like the whole concept of like the trope that anime falls for women.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, let's be honest, not a lot of people write women well in anime.
Facts.
And when they do, it's like a dime a dozen.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your first hot take?
I didn't mean to cut you off, by the way. Sorry. Fine. So, I feel like I'm going to make at least one person mad by saying this.
If this is the one that you're saying, you're going to make a lot of people mad.
Okay, then I apologize, and
Hey, no, I'm there with you, because if this is the one that I'm thinking of, I wholeheartedly agree.
I don't understand why people say that Sakura from Naruto's, like, she's got hella hands to throw, and is an amazingly talented medic or doctor. Like, she's helped heal so many people. And if I'm remembering correctly, she defeated Sasori, right?
Yep.
With help,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And
her and Chiyobachi.
Also, literally saved Naruto's life, correct? Like,
yep,
didn't
multiple
yeah.
Sasuke's.
Yeah. So, like, where the concept of she is useless, never
I
understood
literally,
that.
I can literally pinpoint
Anime?
it. Go all the way back to Naruto, when Sakura made fun of Naruto during the school,
Got it.
and
Okay.
again, all of that, again, mistranslations because the shit that happens in the anime with Sakura that causes people to hate her
It's different than the
are
manga, isn't it?
completely different than the manga.
That's what I thought.
Ooh, completely different in the manga. In the manga, she actually apologizes to him.
Yeah, because I've read
Huh.
a bit of the manga,
Yeah.
and I was like, what?
And then look, for people to call her useless and that she does nothing, I was like, bro, she was there in the final fight with them. She literally is the reason why they were able to defeat Kaguya at the end.
Yes.
She was there. People still call her useless even now in Boruto. Granted, the anime Boruto hasn't been doing too good, but the manga's like great. But she's like the lead medical doctor of the
Yes.
entire hospital in Konoha. Like,
Last I checked, that isn't useless.
at her age right now, she's stronger than Tsunade.
I believe it.
She is insane how good she is. She's so good. She puts hands with like people that are you would never think she would. But yeah, she's great. I like Sakura too. I'll never understand the hate for her. I can understand disliking the character and everything,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I've seen people being like, "Witch,
There's a
witch,
lot of hate for
harlot."
Sakura, and I'm like, whoa, okay.
Since we're on the Naruto topic, I would go mine next. I would get a lot of hate for this one, but when it comes to Naruto, I love the show, love the anime. Bluebird is not the greatest opening for Naruto, opening or ending, whatever. I despise that song so much, and it's not like it's not a bad song, but like seeing all the TikTok edits that come up and everything, and I hear that song over and over again, and people are like, "Oh, this is the best song in all Naruto." Are you
When
smoking
I
crack?
tell you, this man gets irrationally angry.
I get it's like I don't know why I get annoyed by that song, and it's just like because there's so many songs. Like I think that the entire run of the OG Naruto openings are better than Bluebird by leaps and bounds.
Oh, I agree.
The Asian Kung Fu Generation song alone is like so.
Oh, Asian Kung Fu Generation fucking slapped.
Yeah, no, that's my hot take for on the Naruto end. Bluebird. It's like to me, Bluebird to me is like your thing with styrofoam.
Got it. God, I hate the sound of styrofoam. It's fucking awful. So, my second one, it's funny because you kind of brushed up on this already. I feel like you're missing out if you don't give One Piece at least a shot. And I understand it's long. However, if you get to, I always tell people at least get to the end of the Arlong Park arc. And if you get to Arlong Park and you still don't like it, then it's not for you. I totally get that and I respect it.
100%.
If it is too long for you, what I would suggest, because
Read the manga.
read the manga, that's one
I
option.
know there's the thing. There's the One Piece.
They're doing a remake, right?
That's honestly that's gonna be the best way to tell people to watch One Piece.
100%.
But there's the thing now, which is kind of like One Piece's equivalent of what Dragon Ball Kai is, which is kind of like a faster paced version. It cuts down like fillers or whatever it is that it does, and it makes it faster. But I feel like you miss some context by doing that. But you get a lot of the important bits, pretty much, with it. Yeah, like it's hard to tell somebody to get into One Piece and be like, oh, but yeah, it's very long and yada yada and everything. The one thing that gets me though is that telling people that One Piece is long and they won't watch it because it's too long, but they sat here and watched Naruto 10 times and Bleach 10 times.
Yeah.
And they'll sit here and watch an anime over and over and over and over and over and over again. Again, I honestly think that the hate for it is just meme culture. And people say, well, like the animation doesn't hold up, it looks bad and everything. Yes,
it's
an
old.
anime from that in '99.
Yeah, it's old. It's an old one.
Like, if you really want to talk about long animes, then yeah, go watch Lupin the Third.
Detective Conan.
Detective Conan and Lupin the Third. They're
That's longer
long.
than One Piece.
That's long.
If you don't at least give it a shot, I feel like you're missing out on something that you could have really enjoyed.
And it's funny too, because there are people that go in expecting to hate it.
Yeah.
And then they get to that moment that they're like, shit.
Oh shit, this is really good. Like it's always worth just to try it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying sit through
Go in
1,000 plus
balls deep and
episodes.
everything.
Like no, just my suggestion for people is give it to at least Arlong Park. If you don't like it by Arlong Park, then I guess
my suggestion has always been take this in seasons.
Yes.
In seasons of anime. Watch an episode a day till you get to the end of that arc. or the end of it, or the end of an arc, and then take a break for like about a month or two,
Mm-hmm.
and then that way it's still fresh in your head, and then come back.
Yeah.
Take them in bite-sized pieces. Don't sit there and be like, I'm gonna
I'm
go
gonna binge this
all
nonstop.
100, all
Eat,
1,000
sleep,
something.
breathe, shit, piss One Piece.
So my last hot take is another one that I very avidly send 10 toes to the ground. Mecha anime deserve more love. Some of the stories in Mecha hit just as hard as any anime today. You can think of a genre in anime, and Mecha most likely has touched up on it.
Yeah.
Any type of mecha, and by mecha, I just don't mean Gundam. Everything. Rekka
Yeah.
7,
Yep.
Gundam,
Darling in the Franxx.
Dolly and the Franks, Gurren
Rayer.
Lagann, Rayer. Think of mecha. There's been Escaflowne.
Oh my god, Escaflowne slaps so hard.
Think
so
of
good.
think of a genre, and I'm pretty sure mecha has literally done an adaptation of.
Mm-hmm.
I love mecha animes, and I love how fantastical they are, how great they are. Are there shitty ones out there? Of course. But I think mecha animes deserve so much more love than the hate that they deserve. Because people just see giant robots and they're like, whatever.
Yeah.
But no, man, there have been some stories that in mecha that have been like, wow. You want to talk about Gundam? And just the initial like Gundam, Universal Century. Then then you have stuff like Seed and Seed Destiny, which is like I know not a lot of people like it, but it's like my favorite. Freaking Gundam 00 was fantastic. Iron Blood Orphans, amazing. There's so many Gundam series out there that are great. If you just
Iron Blood Orphans is also really good because, in my opinion, because it's a lot darker.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of Gundam series out there that deal with the aspect of like children in war, just war in general, the politics about things. It's just so good, so good. And if you want to step outside of Gundam, Eureka 7, great animation, great music, great story. Then if you want to like go into like a more realistic type deal thing, more grounded, 88 was great. But there's so many genres out there that are so good when it comes to mecha that are just like.
And I think almost every genre has a mecha anime of some kind. You got the seinen, you got the shonen, you got the shoujo, you got romance, you got. I could keep going.
Yep, it's perfect. Because like one of my all-time favorite like mechas anime has to be Macross and that whole series.
Yeah,
and
that's a good.
That one has like love, romance, sci-fi, the whole nine, everything.
Mm-hmm.
It has pretty much everything you can think of. But no, that's my last hot take when it comes to the anime-wise. I have more, but these are like my three.
So I'm gonna. This is my last one. I do have more as well, but I'll just say this. And I feel like people. I feel like this is gonna go three ways. Either one, people are gonna come with me with pitchforks. Two, people are gonna be on the fence. Or three, people are gonna agree. And I like both of these animes. I'm not saying that either one sucks. I enjoy both of them. I'm going to stress that. I enjoy both of these anime. Okay? So, I personally, in my opinion, feel that Yu Yu Hakusho is better than Dragon Ball.
I can get behind that.
Like, I feel like I'm gonna offend at least one person.
No, of course.
That.
No matter what opinion you have, you're gonna offend somebody. But I can get behind. I kind of, if you just take Z by itself,
just Z, just Z, not the whole shebang bang.
Because Z's story is pretty much here comes Guy.
Yep.
Fight. Goku gets stronger, moves on to the next one. Goku's dead. The super training comes back. It's the same cycle.
It's the same river rolling and.
If you were to put Dragon Ball in it as well, then I'd be like,
then it'd be like.
But no, I kind of agree with that because Yu Yu Hakusho story is like it's really good. It's literally the blueprint for the tournament arc.
Yeah.
And it's just the story itself. Just the villains were so good. The cast is really great.
Yeah,
together.
I love the characters that are designed and the development of the characters.
So onto a much lighter thing that we can just end the day on instead of like hate with these hot takes is back to video games.
I don't think we touched about anything hateful.
No, I know. Remakes and remasters that we've enjoyed, and then remakes and remasters that we wish to see. I'm gonna just shoot these off and go one by one. Remakes and remasters that I've enjoyed a lot. Final Fantasy X, which we kind of already touched up on.
I have that down as one of mine too.
Yeah, because of like
10 and 10 2 remaster.
10 and 10 2 remaster were great. They gave us a bunch of quality of life, gave us extra things on the international missions and stuff like that. Were fantastic. The next one, Near Reincarnation. Near Reincarnation.
You mean Replicant?
Replicant, yes.
Yep. I have that one as mine.
Reincarnation is the mobile game.
Yeah.
Replicant.
Version 1.224744871139.
Yeah, that one. I love that one because it's not just a remake, Because for those that don't know, the original Nier was with Papa Nier. Was
Yeah, well,
with the
there was two.
two.
There was
But
Gem
again,
Salt and Replica.
but then there's the problem. We
Yep,
never got the other one in
exactly,
the
in the
States.
States.
All we had was father's side of the story,
Yep,
but we never got the other one with
yep,
brother. This is the one that we're seeing now. But this one adds all the quality of life. This,
yes.
and this made people fall in love more with that game because this is Platinum redid the
Yep,
whole battle
yep.
system for this. Because the other one's a battle system, it's very of its time. Very
Oh, yeah.
stiff, very and everything. So that's why I like that one. Another one remake that I love, and I've actually been thinking about playing it again is the Metroid Prime remake. I love that remake. Or it was so good. It was so cool because you were so worried. You know, you have to go off to the far corners of the internet to play that game. Cough cough. Um, but man, Metroid Prime was so good. I love that game. That game is so special. It's so good. I don't want to say perfect, but it was so good, so good. The music in that game does something that not a lot of games do, and then just the environmental soundtrack to that game is so good.
I will give Metroid Prime that. It's not a game that I would play, but I would watch you play it. Does
Yeah,
that make sense?
yeah.
So from experiencing the game by watching you play it, I think their soundtrack
Oh,
slaps.
it's so good. And then like the last of remakes that I've enjoyed, this series has become so special in my heart, and I love it so much. Trials in the Sky. The Trials in the Sky
That
remake.
is a good choice.
And I can't wait for part 2 to come out, and then 3, and it kind of makes me wonder: are they gonna do the same thing now for Trials of Cold Steel 1 and 2? Because those games need it. Because those are still very like
I mean,
old.
I
But
imagine
yeah.
if this does well, that they.
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
That'd be great. That'd be great if they did the entire the entire Cold Steel series, remade it to how the remakes are looking like right now. Because man, that'd be so good. Especially now that we only have one completed chapter only now left out of the whole entire saga, which is the one that they talked about that coming out like in 2029 or 2030.
Right.
Because now we have the last one for the Daybreak series comes out this fall. And then after that we're pretty much playing Xanadu till
Xanadu,
we have Xanadu till the
you got me
2030.
right on cue.
So those are my remakes that I've enjoyed. What are yours?
Well, you listed two that I was gonna
Yeah.
put. So the
So
last one that was different was Demon Souls remake for PS5.
Oh, it's so good. It still sucks that team got disbanded.
Yeah, that's
And then what's your last one?
that is my last one.
Oh, okay, because I
You
touched up.
listed- you-
Oh,
you
okay.
took my other two.
So then after that, I guess remakes or remasters that I am looking forward to are F4, Rayman Legends. I'm
Okay.
so looking forward to that. I'm a sucker for platformers. I love platformers, and Rayman Legends was such a good game. Probably this. I could literally have a whole episode of this just talking about this series alone. And Legend of Zelda, to me, is in my top 5 favorite series of all time. There is a big debate internally, depending on the date. My 3 favorite Legend of Zelda games are Link to the Past, because it was my very first one,
Mhm.
Ocarina of Time, and Twilight.
Those
My
are
whole 3
those are
favorite.
good choices.
And depending on the day or how I'm feeling, if I woke up and I farted on the left side or I burped or something, that would change my answer.
What a response!
After that, there's another series that I love a lot. The Remedy universe, I love so much. I'm really looking forward to the remakes for Max Payne 1 and 2.
Okay, I've actually never played Max Payne 1
This
and
is like my best friend's like favorite series. This is why his
2. Yeah, that's why his name is that. I
Yeah.
know. Yep.
And then probably my favorite horror game of all time, Bluebird Team is remaking this game after the success of Silent Hill 2.
That's awesome.
So I'm so excited because they're remaking not just
They're
one.
gonna redo 4, right?
They're gonna redo 3, hopefully 4 as well, because they practically now have become the new team.
4 is like my favorite one, so
Yeah.
if they could do a remake
Yeah,
of Silent Hill.
that's if I were to add us like a nominee, I guess you can say, for hot takes, is that 4 gets way too much hate.
Silent Hill 4?
Yeah.
Why?
Compared to the other ones, it gets more hate than anything. So those were mine, and those are the ones I really enjoyed. My biggest wish when it comes to these is that, again, talked about this game a lot already. Final Fantasy VIII. I highly doubt we'll get it. I really do, because how long it's taken 7 to be remade, and this whole thing for like 7 and its trilogy and everything. I know that if 8 gets a remake or anything like that, it will probably be like an HD 2D thing or something that's not to the quality that the 7 remake thing got. Sorry,
You're fine.
that seven's like new remake requel has been getting. But I would love for 8 to get that kind of love and attention. I would love for 9 and 10 to get that love and attention. But for me, I would love to see 8. And then the one game that I will ever, till the end of time, scream to the clouds that I would love to see, my biggest wish, is Xenogears. I know that probably will never happen again. And I know, we have the Xenoblade series, which pretty much is what it's closest we're going to get to that stuff. But after recent things, rumors going around that Xenosaga might be under Monolith Soft again, I hope that eventually Square Enix does something with Gears, or at
I
least
hope so.
or at least teams up with, even if it just becomes a Nintendo exclusive. Give us a remake. We need the actual disc 2.
That would be nice.
That would be fucking great. That's like my biggest wish in gaming.
Disc or cartridge, if it's on the Switch too.
Again, all right, but we need that the stuff that we never got to see in disc.
So my remakes that I would want. Do you remember the I have 4. Do you remember the Princess Peach game on the DS or the 3DS?
Yeah. Princess Peach Showtime.
Something like that. It used her emotions. Do you remember
Yeah,
to get
yep,
through certain things?
Yep.
I don't remember if it was on the DS or the 3DS.
It was the 3DS.
Okay.
Super Princess Peach.
I
That
loved
game
that
was so
fucking
good.
game. Loved it.
That game was so good. What a great concept to use like her emotions and stuff like that. Looking at it over the surface, it's like, of course they're gonna make a girl use her emotions as her powers. But no, it was really cool.
It was
fun.
cute.
It was a
I
cute
thought
game.
it was a creative little idea.
I like that game a lot.
It
That
was
game
really
was so fun.
It was so fun. My second one, which I don't know if I'll ever get, but Golden Sun. Any of them.
Oh my god.
They're all good.
Yeah.
Just give me one of them. I don't
Yep.
care which one. Just give me one.
Yep, I agree.
I don't care. I know I can play the old things because of the Switch 2 Nintendo thing, yada yada yada. But to see it remade and remastered and even possibly voice would be so cool.
Yeah. Oh, you just reminded me because of that. My other biggest wish would be a fire, anything done with Breath of Fire.
That would be cool. I've never played Breath of Fire.
Um,
I've heard amazing things about it, but that would be cool.
So good.
My third one, which again, when it comes to remakes, it will always be there. I'm sure you already know what it is. Skies of Arcadia. Give me a remake
At
for
least
Skies of Arcadia, please.
Nintendo, at least give it to us on the Nintendo GameCube NSO.
Right?
Please.
Please. That's all I'm asking. Pretty, please. And then my last one, it shouldn't be that surprising, but Drakengard 3.
Yeah, but at least give us put them on Steam.
Steam, or even if you put them on
Put 1, 2, and 3 on Steam. You put the soundtrack on Steam. Please,
that's wild. I would love to see it on Steam. Hell yeah. And then the only remake I can really think that I'm looking forward to is just Persona 4.
Fire Emblem?
Persona 4.
But what about Fire Emblem? The new one.
That's not a remake, is it?
Oh no, I'm tripping. My bad.
Oh. Okay, I don't think that's a remake.
No. But yeah, no. Persona 4, I'm really looking forward to that one.
Did you already list them?
Yep, I already talked about mine.
Alright, so then the last thing we have to talk about is games and anime that we're looking forward to in the fall. You first, my dear.
So pretty much games that I'm looking forward to in the fall are a couple of. It's my 2 biggest ones is I'm looking forward to is Control 2.
Okay.
Onimusha.
Mm-hmm.
And the new Dynasty Warriors.
Very nice. Those are all solid choices.
Those are some games that I'm really, really looking forward to. Granted, September and October.
They're fucking stacked.
Fucking stacked. But out of all of those, those 3, because I'm a sucker. I'm a little salute for Dynasty Warriors. I love the hat.
That's sucker ball.
I love those games so much. But yeah, no, those are 3 that I'm really looking forward to. For that, there are a lot of other games are definitely looking forward to, but those 3 specifically, I'm very looking forward to.
So the 3 games that I'm looking forward to are Final Fantasy Resonance. My second one is Dragon Quest XI S, Echoes of an Elusive Age. And then last but not least, and again, shouldn't be that surprising, is Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, which actually comes out on our birthday week.
Yes.
So
yeah,
that is a sign from the heavens.
There's a lot that comes out on our birthday week.
Yeah, which is wild. Oh yeah, in case nobody knew, or even if you didn't want to know, I'm gonna share it with you anyway. Me and Val's birthdays are 4 days apart. Well, 2 years and 4 days of anime, sir.
Yeah, you go first.
Me
Yeah.
first? Okay. So for anime that I'm looking forward to in the fall would be the Apothecary Diaries. Season 3 starts again. Blue Box Season 2, which is a sports romance anime. Apothecary Diaries, I should probably say what genre it is. That would help people, right? Shoujo, mystery, it has a little medicine stuff thrown in there. And then the last one would be Togenanki, and that's shonen.
Okay, you took one off my list.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Are you looking for two more or one more? Did I list some of them?
No. You. The only one that you named that was the same as mine was Togenaki.
Okay.
So for me, the ones that I'm really looking forward to the most is the only reason why I had my anime list up because I wanted to make sure that it was fall. The three that I'm looking forward to the most, again, she mentioned Togenaki. Tits and ass for the whole family.
Oh my god! I mean, you're not wrong.
That man,
they are thicker
that
than a
man
Snicker.
had
Or woman.
To,
I don't know what their gender
had
is.
To go. Whoever the character designer for that literally had to go, went to America or South America, experience a thick woman and went, this is my whole personality.
Hey, I'm here for it. Show more thick women in anime.
So
please.
Besides that, the other two that I'm really looking forward to, one I'm excited for. I'm so glad Black Clover's coming back.
Yes.
So glad.
Yep.
I'm excited for that. And then the other one, this is kind of like a hit home for me because like I grew up watching this anime, Magic Knight's Rare.
Yes.
I am so excited.
Oh my
for that.
god, that's gonna look so beautiful. So beautiful.
So excited that that's coming back. I honestly thought that I felt crazy anytime I talked about Rare, and I'm like, oh, I'm talking into like the ether, and nobody knows what I'm talking about.
Not a lot of people though knew what Ray Earth was though back in the day.
Again, we lived in an era that we only got things either because
word of mouth, or
somebody gave you some bootleg VHS.
The good old days.
But besides that, and then the Suikoden anime.
Yeah,
that's based on Suikoden too.
That is indeed a thing.
But yeah, no. But besides that, I kind of want to go over more on the next episode. I would like to talk more about like anime coming out in the fall and in the winter that we can talk about and see,
cool.
What to look forward to. Excited about fall and winter, what you guys are excited for in the fall and winter and everything like that. But besides that, let us know, what have you out of all the topics that we talked about today? What are some of your guys' like hot takes when it comes to anime and video games?
Give us 3 each.
What is a video game that you're really looking forward to, even if it's not a remake or a remaster? What's a remaster that you really enjoy a lot, and that you feel like, oh man, they need to do more like this and everything. But yeah, that's pretty much it on my end.
Yeah, and I'll try to start being nice and put our Twitch schedule up on the YouTube as well. However, we upload our VODs to YouTube like a week after it happens. So say, for example, streams that happened this week will appear next week, kind of situation. I am a bit behind on our uploads, but they will be up there. And as always, thank you for spending time with us in this library lounge, and we hope that you enjoy your stay and come back next time.
Bye guys, you'll have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time.
Bye, stay weird, you guys are the best. Bye.